Why does it seem like gamers hate Konami? What's up guys, my name is Landon, you're watching GamingBolt, and this happens to be my first video for GamingBolt, so I really hope you guys like this. Let me know what you think about the video in the comments below, but you're here to hear about Konami, and really what the hell's happening with Konami and why gamers seem to hate them right now. And we're gonna cover all the stuff that's going on with their IPs, from Metal Gear Solid to Castlevania, really how it seems like they're kind of throwing away their IPs, bastardizing those, firing some of their most infamous employees, just doing a lot of stuff that's pretty crazy. To really fully understand this though, we need to take a look at Konami's history, so let's get into that. Konami could be considered among the biggest success stories in the video game industry. The company was founded by Kagemasa Kazuki in 1969 as a jukebox rental and repair shop, and steadily grew into what we know and, well, used to love. By the late 1970s and into the early 80s, Konami was developing and exporting games like Super Cobra, Frogger, and Scramble to the United States. From the 90s to today, Konami has created many of the industry's most popular game franchises such as Castlevania, Dance Dance Revolution, Pro Evolution Soccer, Gradius, Silent Hill, Yu-Gi-Oh!, and the Metal Gear franchise. Of course, there's more to Konami than just video games. Konami entered into the pachinko market in 1992, and if you don't know what pachinko machines are, they're a form of entertainment and gambling. They're kind of a cross between pinball and traditional slots. They're huge in Japan, they make Konami a ton of money, it's big, big business for them, and Konami's been doing some interesting things with their pachinko machines, but we're gonna get into that a little bit later. Back to the main issue at hand. Why do gamers right now seem to hate Konami? And I think that a lot of that stems back to Konami firing Kojima, them shutting down a lot of studios, all but removing themselves from the gaming industry. And to a lot of gamers right now, it seems like they're bastardizing their beloved franchises. So let's get into some of those specifics. Let's take a look at what happened most recently and notably with Metal Gear Solid and Hideo Kojima. Kojima is without a doubt Konami's most famous and influential employee. He began his career at the company in 1986 working on dozens of games, including, of course, Metal Gear Solid. By March of 2015, Konami announced the release date of the 5th console title of the franchise, along with an announcement of corporate restructuring, followed by a list of personnel changes to take place shortly thereafter. Neither of these press releases by Konami listed Kojima by name, which is quite strange considering his role as Executive Content Officer as well as the Director of Kojima Productions. Now, if you think any of that seems strange, just wait until you hear what Konami did next. That same month, Konami began to remove Kojima Productions' name as well as a Hideo Kojima game from posters and game materials. Not only that, they also renamed Kojima Productions Los Angeles to Konami Los Angeles Studio. Got weird quick, didn't it? Things got pretty weird pretty quick.
No, that was
pretty weird pretty quick. By this point, the gaming industry knew something was up, and GameSpot reported that a fallout between Kojima Productions and its publisher Konami has led to senior staff at the studio given restricted access to corporate internet, emails, and phone calls. GameSpot also all but confirmed that Kojima was no longer working for Konami by stating, "Some senior staff at the studio, including Kojima, now essentially work as contractors and not permanent employees." Shortly thereafter, Kojima and Konami published a joint statement saying that Kojima would stay on to finish the development of Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. Kojima even made a statement saying, "I want to reassure fans that I'm 100% involved and will continue working on Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain." All right, so real talk. Right now, as the story's progressing, I'm just disappointed in the entire situation. I've been a fan of Metal Gear Solid since the PlayStation 1. I remember getting that demo, I think it was a Pizza Hut demo, back when demos were a thing. That's for a video of another time. But I love this franchise, and to see it basically come to an end, at least a Kojima run end, is just disappointing. And then to add to that, it just seems like there's this lack of acknowledgement, this lack of information that's coming out of Konami. It just seems shady, and I think shady is probably the best word that I could use for the situation at hand. And I know I'm not the only one that felt that way. I think a lot of other gamers felt that way. But really for Kojima, for Konami, and for gamers, the story's really just getting started. It's well known that the PT demo, which was released on the PlayStation 4, was actually a playable teaser for an upcoming Silent Hills game by Kojima with the help of Guillermo del Toro and Norman Reedus. When that game was confirmed to be canceled, Konami decided to remove the game from the PlayStation Store, adding salt to the wound that they had already inflicted on gamers and Kojima. Gamers now have no way of downloading and experiencing one of the most truly unique and terrifying games in history. By the time Metal Gear Solid 5 was released, gamers were greeted with a final box art that had no mention of Kojima or Kojima Productions. This is quite unfortunate considering the game was well regarded and even won many Game of the Year awards. Kojima was even supposed to be at the 2015 The Game Awards in early December, but according to Jeff Keighley, he was not allowed to attend. Instead, Kiefer Sutherland accepted the awards on Konami's behalf. Alright, so why is Konami doing any of this? Well, most likely it's a result of their corporate restructuring. They've announced that they're taking a mobile-first approach towards games, and a lot of gamers kind of freaked out, myself included, thinking that this was them stepping away from the console market. Konami has since said that's not the case, which is, I think, good overall. But we also have to remember that AAA games like Metal Gear Solid cost a lot of money and they take up a lot of time to make. Also, Konami still has their pachinko business. It's making a lot of money for them. It's big. It's a big part of their company. So with all of these, does that justify Konami being kind of shady, unprofessional towards Kojima? For me, I think that the answer is no. By this point, many gamers have a bad taste in their mouth for Konami, specifically regarding any dealings with Kojima or properties he's attached to. So what of their other properties, such as Castlevania? The most recent proper Castlevania game was Lords of Shadow 2 in 2014 and was received with mixed reviews. Currently, it holds a 63% Metacritic score. Instead of another Castlevania game, or maybe the company returning to their roots with the franchise, they instead have made a Castlevania pachinko machine. And not just any pachinko machine, one that promises erotic violence. Really? Let's just accept the fact that you're gonna go ahead and make a Castlevania pachinko machine. Why does it have to be an erotic violence game? It just seems absurd. This is where, at the start of this video, I said that a lot of gamers feel like Konami is bastardizing their properties that they love and hold dear. This is the perfect example of that. Why take a franchise like Castlevania and turn it into this? It just seems absurd. And there was a long-running joke for many years where it was just only a matter of time before Konami made a Metal Gear Solid pachinko machine. Turned out that was true, because now there is a Metal Gear Solid pachinko machine. The only plus side to this is that it's not an erotic Metal Gear Solid pachinko machine. Not that Kojima would mind. Finally, this brings us to Konami's most recent offense, and that is Metal Gear Solid Survive. During Gamescom 2016, Konami announced the new spin-off game with the Metal Gear Solid name. It's billed as a 4-player co-op title set to launch next year using the Fox engine from the Phantom Pain. Survive takes place in an alternate timeline set after Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes, and the trailer hints that familiar characters like Big Boss could return, although there's no confirmation yet. The reaction to this announcement has been less than positive. Even Kojima weighed in on the game, saying the Metal Gear Solid games are about political fiction and espionage. Where do zombies fit in with that? Many people will say that Survive is not a Metal Gear Solid game, yet there it is in the title. It's a spin-off experience much like Rising Revengeance or Acid were. So why is this reaction so vehemently different than the latter games? When Rising Revengeance was announced and shown off for the first time, I watched that trailer and I saw, hey, that's cool. It's made by Platinum Games. I was intrigued. I thought the name was incredibly silly. I still think the name is incredibly silly, and the game is better than the name, I'll say that. But the biggest takeaway from this was that I wasn't offended by it. I don't think a lot of other gamers were offended by just the general release of this title. It is a spin-off game. It's kind of an alternate experience, but it's just more goodness inside of the Metal Gear franchise. So why is that different with Survive? And I think it's everything that's happened up to this point. And that's why we're seeing this outcry from gamers saying, you know, I'm not happy about this. This isn't what I wanted. This is wrong. Something feels different here. And I think it's everything that's happened up to this point. Now I understand why Konami is releasing Survive. Let's just get it out there. Let's just say the game might actually be decent. It might be kind of fun. I don't know. Obviously, I'm along with the rest of you guys that it doesn't look like the experience I wanted, but it still might be fun. The other reasons why they're releasing it is, well, they've already got the Fox engine built, so let's add another experience using the development tools that we've already made. So again, that also makes sense. They're also proving that they're not giving up on the Metal Gear Solid name. They're giving gamers more within that franchise. The biggest problem is, again, that was just with everything they've done with the pachinko machines, with the erotic games, with how they've treated Kojima. It feels hurtful to the franchise. It feels hurtful to the fans. I think we are all demanding more, and I think Konami could afford to actually listen to the fans a little bit more. Give us what we're actually asking for instead of whatever this is. All right, guys, well, there you have it. What do you guys think of Metal Gear Solid Survive? Are you gonna play it when it comes out? For me, I'm gonna give it a shot. Is it everything that I wanted? No, absolutely not. What do I think about everything that happened with Konami? I think it's still really shady. I think it's a little bit weird. But of course, let me know in the comments below. What do you guys think about what's happening with Konami? You can also reach out to me on Twitter. I am at Landon Barton. If you want to reach out to GamingBolt on Twitter, we are at GamingBolt Tweet. I'm also curious to hear what you guys think about this video format. We're trying something a little different on GamingBolt. So please let us know about that in the comments below. And of course, like, subscribe, and keep coming back for more videos like this, and we'll see you next time.
And that wraps it up. What are your thoughts about this? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and share it on Twitter and Facebook. And why not consider subscribing? We upload some really cool videos almost every day. Thank you for watching this video, and happy gaming!